The following information is all alleged. Some of it is true and some of it isn't. It's up to you to figure out what happened and what didn't. Happy hunting.
I was just 16 when I found out about my parents' plans for me to marry Justin. I know what you're thinking. An arranged marriage in Jamaica? You'd think those were phased out in the early 1900s. But unfortunately, I wasn't quite so lucky. Justin's family is what you call old money, and my family's wealth goes back generations. Let's just say his family saw me and my virginity as their birthright, and my family saw Justin's wealth and status as mine. It isn't just the British monarchy that like to marry according to their kind. Oh no, that kind of BS exists in other realms as well. And I was the lucky, or not so lucky, heiress that was going to ensure my family's legacy for generations to come. If only I wasn't such a rebel. Then this would be nothing more than a simple story about how the rich stay rich and then become richer. But nothing about my life is that simple. Right. So, I had managed to hold on to my virginity up until this point. And while my mother basked in my purity with a price tag, I, on the other hand, could not wait to get rid of it. It was a sunny day in June when everything I knew about my life started to crumble around me, bit by bit. And I began to realize that life was truly just a game. So that day, my mother knocked on my bedroom door. Just a gentle tap. "Maddi, hurry up. Get ready. Remember, we're white." I rolled my eyes almost instantly, to be honest. I mean, come on, the symbolism was outrageous. But as you'll soon find out about me, I always leave instructions to interpretation. Must say, I pulled out my shortest pair of Batty Rider shorts and couldn't help but laugh to myself. Can you imagine how they would all explode at the thought? As if they're on some kind of moral high ground, these. I honestly considered it for a moment. But my sister Sam, always the goody two-shoes, aka the voice of reason, gave me the side eye. Really, Mads? It's not worth it. I knew she was right, but I also hated the idea of my pussy as a business deal. Anyways, fast forward. We all went to the little family barbecue. As we sat at the table, catered by this sweet Indian woman from out at Helshaw, I marveled at how authentic the food was in comparison to all the fake people I was surrounded by. My parents included, actually. Truthfully, my mother low-key didn't rate Justin's mom. She called her a trollop behind her back, simply because she was close friends with Justin's dad's first wife. I wasn't even born when they split, but apparently she had failed to get pregnant, and 5 years was enough for Justin's dad to replace her. No pressure. Regardless of what my mother thought, though, I liked Christine. She was fun, with a dirty mouth and a passion for maiden key. Quite right myself. It's Justin's dad I didn't really like. He looked at me like property, mostly when my dad wasn't looking. Even at just 16, I definitely clocked that early. Anyway, we had lunch at our house. Justin and I and the rest of the kids ate with the adults and made a beeline for the game room as soon as they were done questioning us about school, as if any of us were actually doing any work. I mean, we all were inheriting businesses. What was the point, right? But I digress. It was in the game room that I first found my bestie Rebecca mentioning the party of all parties that was supposed to happen that night. While she went on and on endlessly about who would be there and how she would be leaving soon because Marshall was going to do her hair at 4, all I could think was I had to be at this party. Even after Justin had earlier arrogantly told his brethren Jeremy how that's not Maddi's thing. She more than likely going home. I need to keep my mouth shut and accumulate as much details as possible. So Rebecca told me about the party. Real hardcore Jamaican vibe, she called it. Stone love and Renaissance in one venue, with an exclusive VIP section, away, quote unquote, from the communals. And yes, she actually said that. Real VIP flex, meaning you have to have at least a net worth of like $1 million US or more to be granted access. I would have asked my parents if I could go like a good little girl, but we all know that good little girls rarely have good stories to tell. And plus, with them wanting to ensure my purity remained unshaken, they would definitely be against the flex. So I said nothing. And with an allowance as big as mine, this is going to be a simple shizzle anyway. So, we got ready under the quiet, and when I say we got ready, I mean we came to shut it down. Star-studded event, and Rebecca had managed to get Jeremy to pick us up. I'll leave his last name out. Don't worry, Jeremy. You're safe. For now. Anyways, we get to the party and I saw a few familiar faces. And if I was supposed to get excited by anyone, it would be these people. One thing I was taught, though, never reveal excitement to see anyone. After all, honestly, they should really be excited to see me. Jeremy pulls up in front of the party with his loud muffler from his brand new Evolution and music pumping loudly, advertising our arrival. When we got out, I could feel the eyes looking at us, literally staring through us like an American X-ray turned on after a flight from Colombia. The women were checking out my 6K US fit, and the men were checking out my other assets. I sat in the back on the way there because I knew Rebecca had a huge crush on Jeremy. But something that was also clear to me was that Jeremy had a huge crush on me. But I digress. As I say, winner each Jeremy it. So we walk into the party. In these times, people used to actually dance in the fucking party, not this boring ass shit you see in 2024 with these wannabe bitches texting on their phone, taking selfies, and afraid to sweat out their cheap weave. I walked through this party bold as ever, my 16-year-old mind still unable to realize a low profile would have been far wiser as someone who didn't have permission to be where they were. We were only 3 minutes into scoping out the perfect spot to chill all night when Rebecca gripped my wrist as if she had seen a ghost or some unfortunate VIP who had lost all their fortune. She posed me behind a column, creasing my expensive purse with her dramatic tug. And before I could scream at her, she pointed emphatically, saying, "Just look." So I looked in the direction of Rebecca's newly manicured French nails to see Christine, Justin's mum, in a dark corner of the ends, grinding on a mystery man. At the time, I didn't know who he was, but one thing I was certain of, it was definitely not her husband, Justin's dad. Rebecca and I both looked at each other with the slyest grins on our faces. All right, darlings, that's enough for today. Tune in next time to find out what happened next.
Move on yourself with a little bit of money. Keep out your mouth with a little bit of money. Shut up! Yo, hold out with a little bit of money. Go over there so with a little bit of money. Man, I got for money now, and I funny money. Louis V, the for money when you see. Govy, strike force. You feel know, and a little bit of money.